All right, this is episode 21, Bits for You. This is the E3 or pre-E3 discussion where we talk about things that have been announced to be shown at E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo. It's been going on since 1995, every year. Mostly in LA. I think they did a couple times in Atlanta, and then they took it back to LA at their big, huge, fucking gigantic LA Convention Center. We talk about what we're currently playing, the Xbox Scorpio system. Is it a sequel or successor to the Xbox One system, or is it just like the PlayStation 4 Pro, which is just a 4K capable system that Xbox is releasing? We'll just have to wait for their conference. So we discussed Shenmue 3, Mario Kart 8 tournament. We announced, so you can play with us. It's the Bits for You Mario Kart 8 tournament. Arms Global Pay. Fuck. When I do these intros, I can't talk. While I'm recording live, I don't have an issue. The ARMS Global Playtest. The PlayStation 3 production. And we also discuss give our opinions on the Wonder Woman movie. That's towards the end of the E3 coverage, actually right after it. Then New Japan Pro Wrestling. Some WWE updates and the Getaway franchise, if Sony going to bring it back on the PlayStation 4 or in the future. All right, enough of this. Enjoy. This is our E3 special episode, and one of us is actually going to E3. That beat Javier. Lucky son of a bitch is going to E3.
Yeah, this is the first year that they are allowing people who are not in the press or in the industry to go in. So I'm going.
That's the question we had before. Is it really the first year that they're doing it, or did they did it before, but it was many years, and then they didn't let the public in? I never researched that.
But I looked it up briefly, and from what I saw, unless they were wrong, I forgot what I looked up. I was just Googling it. Seems to be the first time.
Oh, well. If anybody can confirm it, they can tweet us and let us know. Bits for You podcast on Twitter. And
the whole reason they're doing it is because they've been having attendance problems, money problems. Well, I don't know about money, but they want to get more hype. They want to get people involved.
Yeah.
So the convention business is really good.
Well, they have a lot of competition. Remember, PAX and all these other ones are opening up, and they're selling out like crazy. And they can see how people associate and love those other conventions. I mean, you've been to a couple of the other ones.
Yeah, but this is not a convention. E3 actually is a trade show.
Right. But in the sense of a trade shows or conventions that have opened up across the country or across the world, they've seen how the fans love interacting with the developers, and especially the independent developers that go to such trade shows or conventions.
Yeah, I mean, conventions are popping up everywhere. Everybody makes them now. There's conventions here like every few months, a couple months probably. It's all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. So you're excited to go?
Yeah, obviously it'd be my first E3. I haven't gone before. Supposedly I could have, but I never took advantage. Because at one point I was working at IBM, and they seem to be very loose in the rules about it, I've heard. But like I said, I never actually attempted it. Because, I'm a software engineer, and I worked for IBM, so maybe I could have gone, even though I wasn't directly working on any projects related to gaming.
So did you know about it at the time, or you just found out recently?
No, I found out back then. I just didn't know anybody who wanted to go with me.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't invite you because you were not, were the same job as me. So
yeah, they wouldn't not have allowed me.
Yeah.
Oh well, sir. At least you get to go this year. Check out what's going on.
Yeah, the only thing I was kind of disappointed on, I knew about it before I bought the tickets, but those press conferences that they, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, Ubisoft, EA.
Uh-huh.
I think I don't know if I'm missing anybody else, but they have,
Those are the big ones.
their big press conferences.
Yeah.
And just like what it sounds like, press conference, it's press only.
Okay, so the general public is not allowed.
Now, the only one you can possibly get in is Sony. They have a standby line. I heard the line gets crazy packed just early in the morning, and doesn't start till I think nighttime. So.
And when is E3 again? When does it start for the general public?
June. Well, overall, E3 actually starts June 13th.
June 13th, and that is the Tuesday?
It's Tuesday, yes.
So the press conferences start on Monday. I think I saw a couple of news articles about it being on Monday, right?
Right. You can get in that. I think Sony's on Monday. But it's just, like I said, there's a standby line.
Okay. And Sony's streaming it live in some theater chains across the country?
Yeah, actually, if you go to PlayStation.com//E3 experience, you'll get some. Here's the details. It starts at June 12, 5 p.m. Pacific, and you can find select theaters that will play it. It's for free, as long as there's room to sit down.
Wait, it starts. You said 5 p.m. Pacific?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misread that. You're right. Which is 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So they have a list that website I just gave you. They have a list of theaters that support it. And like I said, the tickets are free. You can go and just sit down and watch it.
Or you can watch it on your PlayStation 4.
Yeah, or you just play it on your PlayStation 4, or you just stream it on
YouTube,
from your computer or tablet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's several ways to watch it. If you just want a huge screen, you go to the theater. If you just want to watch it at home, just watch it at home. Or if you'd be lucky enough to get inside, then there you go.
Like you. Hopefully you can get inside.
I won't even be there June 12th.
Oh, you fly June 12th?
No, actually I fly in June 13th in the morning.
Jesus, dude, why?
Cost and vacation time.
Yeah, I know.
Plus, E3 doesn't start till noon on June 13th. I'm going to be in town like at 9 a.m. or something.
I see.
So I'll have time. I'll get out of the airport and go to E3. It'll be fine.
So what are we looking forward to E3?
So, a few things. I guess we could hit Microsoft first.
Uh-huh.
So, Xbox, because there was a leak that happened a week or two ago, and one of the things leaked about it was Xbox is supposed to reveal Project Scorpio.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, announced that Microsoft will reveal it at E3 this year. So what's Project Scorpio? That's their new next system.
So
it's gonna.
They're basically just they're gonna like stop developing for the Xbox One. Is it like Is it like the successor to the Xbox One, or is it in the same line as the Xbox One? Like you can play your Xbox One games on it, or we don't know details besides what they've announced.
It's gonna be I don't know when the hang up the boots on the Xbox One, but it's definitely going to be the next system. It's pretty strong.
Or is it like the PlayStation 4 Pro that it's just more powerful, but it's still in the PlayStation 4 family?
They said it's 43% faster than the PlayStation 4 Pro.
Right. That wasn't my question though. Is it so? Is it going to be in the Xbox One family or a completely new Xbox system?
It sounds like it'll be a completely new system, not in the same family. Of course, we're going to get all the details, at E3.
I think it's too soon for that. I mean, most systems have a 5-year cycle. I don't even think it's been 5 years since the Xbox and the PS4 came out. The Xbox One as well.
Well, PS3 lasted a really long time.
The PS3 had a 7. Okay, it came out in 2006. The launch of the PS4 was November of 2013, so that's 7 years. You could say 7.5 years of cycle. I still think that the PS4 has maybe another year left, and I would assume that the Xbox One. But I'm guessing Microsoft is finally threw in the towel since they're losing this war to the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 has sold, as of April, they sold 60 million consoles worldwide. and the Xbox One had sold anywhere between 30 to 35 million worldwide.
Yeah, when I remember they announced the Xbox One and they told people what's involved, the details.
Right.
People, it was a huge backlash. They finally took back a lot of that,
Right.
but it was too late. They already damaged themselves. And I think the guy who announced in charge was eventually resigned and everything.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so they have, this is important for them. They know they flopped. I mean, 30 million is still a lot, but they figured we flopped a little bit. Let's get back at Sony. And we're gonna release a new, more powerful system.
So these specs that leaked, 8-core CPU, 2.3 gigahertz, 6 teraflops, and a 12 gigabyte GDDR5 RAM. Those specs, they don't seem like it's. I mean, at least to me, like it's a brand new, It's very powerful, more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. I just think it's too soon for Microsoft to release an Xbox system. But I think what you're saying makes sense. They probably want to be first with the next generation console before Sony releases the PlayStation 5. So that's possibly why they are announcing the Scorpio this E3.
Look, he's looking at their position. So PlayStation, Sony is kicking their ass by double.
Right.
And then Nintendo just released a system, and that's on the hot. It's you can barely find it.
Nintendo's, but Nintendo had a very good reason to release it. They didn't wait till the 5-year cycle either. They released it in 4.5 years because their Wii U was just terrible. It only did 13 million worldwide in 3.5 years.
Right. So kind of the same thing, but not as low numbers.
Right.
Xbox is suffering. They need a just like Nintendo had to speed up their next release. Sony's the only one sitting comfortably, we're doing well. So, but so think about it. You're the Xbox One. You're behind by half of the PlayStation sales, and then Nintendo just released a new hot system. What are you gonna do? Just sit on your system that is not a hit? I mean, obviously, 30 million is still a lot. It's just not as big as a hit they wanted it to be.
Let's do a bet then. I bet that just like Sony announced last year that they were just going to release a 4K capable, a little bit more powerful, extra RAM, like whatever, and the PlayStation 4 is still the PlayStation 4 Pro is still part of the PlayStation 4 family. I think that this Xbox Scorpio is still going to be part of the Xbox One family.
Well, it could be. Like I said, we'll find out in E3.
Oh, you don't want to bet then?
We're going to bet the unknown here.
We're going to bet 100 rubies.
So even though they're going to announce the system, it's already come out and there's no announcement for the next Halo. There might be a side project for Halo, but not
no Halo 6 announcement?
No Halo 6 announcement.
That's fucking crazy. I think Halo 5 wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. It would be kind of silly for them not to announce a Halo 6.
Yeah, if you're going to have a new system, I would think you would want to announce a new Halo system seller. It's like Nintendo releasing a system without a system seller,
So that makes me think if they're not gonna announce a Halo 6, they might be holding off on Halo to launch with the next Xbox system. So that makes me think that the Scorpio might not be a successor to the Xbox One family, but be part of the Xbox One family. That's just my theory. That's just my what I'm speculating now.
Well, the whole no Halo 6 announcement, it could also be just lie too. They might not just want to say it
could be a secret
publicly.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll really find out if they want some traction here. They have to have a great announcement, and then at some point, I don't know when the system's gonna be released, but get close. When you're getting close, you gotta announce some stellar hits or at least one system seller of a game. And Halo for them is traditionally what you want, right?
Yeah, and with the specs that were leaked from the Scorpio. That's compatible for 4K TVs, since PlayStation 4 is 4K compatible. It's going to announce,
That's 4K TVs anyway. I don't have one. I don't even care to update.
You don't, but surprisingly, I looked at the stats a couple of weeks ago as to the sales, because 4K TVs started going on the market around 2014, then end of 14, but they were still very expensive. So they started being more reasonable late 2016. And this year, my brother actually got a 49-inch LG 4K TV for under $400. So they're dropping like crazy in price. You gotta think about it, Javi. The consumer manufacturing companies, 3D TV was a big failure, like epic failure. Like nobody, some people were buying it, but it wasn't a success like 1080p TVs were. Well, so they quickly rushed this 4K TV technology 3 years ago, and now this year, 2017, is now where it's becoming more affordable. I saw a 60-inch one announced not too long ago for under $600. So it's very very affordable now. So they're waiting on this market, the 4K TV.
It might be cheaper, but it could still be a slow burn. Why do I have to buy a new TV? My TV's just fine.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm not gonna buy one. I mean,
I'm playing Blu-ray disc. I'm fine with that.
I'm just letting you know. My brother got one. He loves it so far. He watches his 4K Netflix, Hulu on 4K. He actually got a PlayStation Pro to take advantage of it. I don't think he traded in his regular PlayStation 4, but he got a PlayStation 4 Pro, so he's playing his games in 4K with HDR. So it's just like a gimmick to it, like anything else, and not a lot of people are gonna go right into it, but Xbox, it seems like they're gonna. It makes sense. They have to release a 4K capable system. The Scorpio is that system for them, 4K gaming.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And so one of the games that was not announced, but rumored to be revealed during the Xbox presentation is going to be Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
Oh, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, so it's the follow-up to that game. It's expected to expand, on that game. It was a big hit, that Shadow of Mordor, and I loved it.
I did too.
Actually, I think it might be my favorite PS4 game.
It was a very good game when it came out. I think it was 2014, if I'm correct. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's when it came out, and it was on the top on many people's best game of the year.
Yeah, and so it was a big success. I heard they're spending more money on it. Actually, spending more time on it, and they're expanding it greatly. So we'll see a lot more details at E3. We'll see when Microsoft. I think it'll be on Microsoft. That's the rumor, but we'll see who does it. Maybe Sony will do it. But yeah, I'm really can't wait for this. They mentioned like there'll be personal player stories for the Nemesis system. You remember that, where you have to go kill orcs, and if they killed you, they're your nemesis now. So I guess it's a story being built around that as well. Not just I killed you, I'm your nemesis or whatever.
Don't kill me, sir.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. Excited to see more about that, and definitely something I would buy. Another one's Capcom. They're supposed to release more details about Resident Evil 2, the remake.
They have to, man.
When I looked this up last time, Capcom did say that Resident Evil 2 was going to be made from the ground up. This is not like they're just remastering the Resident Evil 2 game. They are building this up from the ground up.
So kind of like what they did with the Resident Evil 1?
For the GameCube, it was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the ground up, they just completely built a brand new engine.
That was a big hit. Whenever when they came out for the GameCube, people loved it.
And they released the HD remaster, that same one for the PlayStation 4, I think digitally like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was a big hit there too.
Yeah, so obviously they know it makes money, and 2 is supposed to be the most popular one. So
yeah, 2 was great
for fans. I don't know about sales, but
it did well in sales. I think 2 outsold Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, but they have 4, 5, and 6.
That's true.
I don't think 6 did as well, but I know 4 and 5 probably did pretty good.
Yeah, 6 was shit, dude. Terrible.
Actually, I kind of jumped around. I did forget to mention Shenmue 3.
So what about Shenmue 3? Is it going to be announced? Is that the word on the street or no announcement?
The studio said they are not going to have Shenmue 3 at E3 this year.
Damn.
Because this was announced 2 years ago on E3.
Yes, I remember. They made the big announcement. They did the crowdfunding. It made a record of the the fastest project to reach their goal in Kickstarter or something like that.
Yeah. Was it? Because I know Shenmue 2 was an Xbox. It was also on Dreamcast, but only in Japan. But Shenmue 3, was it only supposed to be Xbox exclusive, or is this also Sony?
Shenmue 3? No, it's Sony. It's going to be released on the Sony. I think it was actually announced in Sony's press conference a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you might be right.
I don't
it might be for
recall
both
it- I don't
systems or maybe
recall
just
it-
Sony. I don't remember.
I don't recall it being on Xbox, Microsoft's press conference, but I'm sure, I'm almost certain it was Sony's, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a multi-platform game.
Right. So we know it won't be at E3 this year. They do have plans to release Part 1 and Part 2 in HD. That I'm kind of interested in. I do still have Part 1, and I still have a working Dreamcast. I could play Part 1 if I wanted to. So, but I am much more interested in playing Part 2.
You lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah, well, I love the Dreamcast. It was one of my favorite systems, and it was one of the games I had for it. I'm sure it costs quite a bit now.
FYI,
so.
since this is a live recording, my phone just gave me an emergency notification that there's a tornado warning.
Well, if I hear you fly away,
I might see Toto soon. And
Right.
the Yellow Brick Road,
right,
all that
right.
jazz. But go ahead.
Or Thor.
Or Thor.
So we'll see. I thought it was gonna be an Xbox, but actually, now thinking about it, you might be right. Sony. I just know for sure it won't be the studio itself. Why is that said Shenmue? How do you pronounce it? Shenmue or Shenmue?
Shenmue.
Won't be E3 this year.
Well, wouldn't it make sense for them to maybe not completely remaster them, but at least remaster it a bit to release the original Shenmue 2 digitally at least on the PlayStation Store and Xbox Store?
No, that's what I was saying earlier. They are releasing 1 and 2 HD.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
But I'm guessing they'll maybe mention
maybe I
that.
was too concerned with the tornado warning that I missed that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I'm expecting them or hoping they would release information about that, the HD versions of 1 and 2. Like I said, I already have Part 1 Dreamcast. I don't care about 1, but I'm guessing it could be as a combo. I don't know.
It would make sense for them to release both as a combo, like maybe at a nice price of either $20 to $30. You get both games. I think it would sell.
Yeah, and then we also have Ubisoft. We are expecting them to talk about Far Cry 5, The Crew 2, and a new Assassin's Creed title.
This is going to be a big year for Ubisoft.
Yeah, new Assassin's Creed would be. I mean, the last one. I don't even know which one was the last one. I lost track.
I think took place in the UK or in Europe. I think it was called Syndicate. I could be wrong. So.
I just remember. This is how bad. That was probably why it took a while for this one to release. Because the last one had a lot of.
Yeah, it was Syndicate. It was Syndicate. I just looked it up. And then before that was Unity, which was really buggy. Unity was the one that a lot of people had problems with the game crashing, etc. That Ubisoft then started giving out free games to please their fans.
Oh, I thought it was Syndicate. Okay.
No, it was Unity, the one before that.
Well, I think that franchise has been pretty buggy. I remember the coach. Was playing Part 2, and then he had a bug where you couldn't continue the quest anymore.
Part 2.
So he said,
"That was
this was a while ago." And he said, "Fuck it," and he gave up on Assassin's Creed franchise.
Huh.
And that's it. He never played another one.
Part
I only played Part 2 as well, 1 and 2. And I stopped after 2 because I was like, okay, I get the idea. It's the same thing over and over. I'll wait a few years to play another one. Because they're releasing them every year. This is the first time they actually took a few years break from it.
Yeah. You're partly correct.
It was like 2 years.
Direct sequels. They only went with direct sequels, like the ones with actual numbers sequels, every year after Part 3. So Part 3 came out in 2012, I believe. Then 2013, we got Part 4. And then in 2015, we got Unity. No, 2014. Then the last one was Syndicate in 2015. We didn't have any Assassin's Creed last year. So
okay.
But damn, Part 2 had a crash rate. Part 2 came out in 2009 on the PS3. I don't remember it being any buggy or anything like that for me.
I think they were all been buggy. I just nothing. I don't know his specific scenario, but I remember that happened to him.
Probably hates,
stopped.
He's just probably an Assassin's Creed hater.
No, he liked Part 1.
Part
we'll
two
see.
was the best one. Part one really didn't have much of a story. It was just a cool concept of the whole parkour thing that took the world by storm. That was 10, 11 years ago. But part two, to me, to this day, is the best one. The Ezio storyline. It was so good that they actually did 2 spin-offs with that character, and they released it last year on the PS4, remastered versions of those. So it was a well-received storyline, the Assassin's Creed 2 storyline.
Speaking of storyline, funny enough, not on purpose, I rented Assassin's Creed the movie.
Oh
last week.
shit! I haven't seen it yet, but what? Just without spoiling much, what'd you think of it?
I couldn't spoil it. I didn't even finish it. I was halfway through the movie, and my girlfriend's like, "What is happening?"
Your fiance?
Yes. And I was trying to explain to her stuff from the game, and I said they kind of follow me down a little bit.
Right.
Like the very the framework of it, should I say? Because the character is different and everything. But I'm trying to explain it because I think I know what's happening, but then I got confused as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fuck this, and I took it out of my PS4 and I returned it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was serious. Because at some point we were both on our phones. They were doing some cool action scenes, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is happening anyway. So I don't care. So when we're both on our phones, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna return this. So it's actually, believe it or not, I got it from a video store, a Family Video, which is still around somehow
in Texas.
And yeah,
there's a couple around here too. They're mostly kept in business because the old timers like to go rent their adult movies or pornos there. They probably still don't know how to get free porn on their iPhones or tablets.
Do they do porn? I don't think so.
But most of the ones
either
over
way,
here, they do.
I got it. I got it because they came with the pizza for free.
Oh, okay. Free food, not bad.
No, free movie.
Free
the pizza
movie.
was not free. So yeah, the movie was whatever. It suffers the same problem as the Warcraft movie, which is it was just fast paced. They didn't really explain much. It was hard to understand what was happening.
At least
Warcraft, I played the game a lot.
Wasn't terrible, but you can tell. You and I discussed this. We can tell that there was a lot of plot holes, and the editing. You could tell, like, it would just. There's something they're talking about a major storyline, then it just cuts halfway through the actual explanation, and then boom, action scene. I'm like, okay, what was that? What just happened?
At least, see, the Warcraft movie, at least if you follow the lore, just Wikipedia it, you can understand what's happening. The Assassin's Creed, they had a new character. I was like, who's this? And whatever. So I didn't want to go so much detail about the Assassin's Creed movie, but it was shit. The movie was shit. Yeah.
I like that rating. You gave it a rating of shit.
Yeah, didn't even finish it. And then another, obviously we skipped out on Nintendo.
Nintendo. What are they doing?
So we know they're having 2 tournaments at E3. One of them is from ARMS, and the other one is for Splatoon 2. I think I'm gonna try to make it for. I think the only one I can actually join is ARMS. I'm not sure about Splatoon 2.
When is the Splatoon 2 release date? Is it still July?
Yeah, I know we're like 40, 50. I think we're like 40ish days away from the release. So yeah, it's in July.
Are they doing or have they done a global playtest for Splatoon 2?
Yes, they did.
Oh shit, dude! You should have told me. I wanted to play it.
It was a while ago. I don't know if they're gonna do another one. I mean, ARMS had like 2 weekends of it.
Yeah, so I want to touch on that really quick before we continue. So the ARMS playtest.
Well, how about this? How about we talk about it after we finish E3? Because I'm gonna keep on talking about other games.
All right, sir. You got me on my good day, so I'll let you continue.
So if you're listening to this, we'll get talked about ARMS right after E3 here, which we're not that much left about it. The other thing I want to talk about is what they're going to focus on, which we know is going to be Mario Odyssey, which comes out the holidays.
That's their projected date, but again, the thing I like about Nintendo is that they'll flat out say, if it's not ready, we'll delay it because we want to, we don't want to rush a game. Yeah,
but I think they're pretty
ready with this.
I think they're ready, or they're just like set on stone. We're doing it in the holiday. If you look at the Switch, you could tell they're doing a steady release of games. They're not.
They're
They're not
spreading
releasing
them
them all at
apart.
once.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Switch. So they're gonna give you a big title here at launch. They're gonna give you in the summer. We got a couple big titles: ARMS, Splatoon, and then in the holiday season, we're supposed to be getting a more big titles. Mario Odyssey, hopefully being one of them.
I think Skyrim's in the fall.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
We'll find out more about that, I guess. Supposedly E3 is supposed to be a big one for Nintendo. Reggie's gone on record to say this will be a big one for us.
Yeah,
They're gonna announce some big stuff.
and in the
So
past,
we'll see what else.
they haven't been very big on E3, at least presence wise, in the past couple of years. So this year, they're gonna be there full force.
Yeah, and they're having the Pokemon Direct the week before E3, which is this week.
Yeah.
As a recording, we haven't watched it. It's on Tuesday. We're recording this Monday, so maybe we'll talk about it more, or after the E3, because I'll be at E3 live. So I'll be tweeting at E3, and then when I come back, we're gonna record an episode, and I'm gonna talk about my experience at E3.
Yes, we will.
But just to wrap up Nintendo, there was 2 things leaked via the Boy Scouts magazine of all things, or the Eagle Scouts, whatever. It's Pikmin and Animal Crossing. So we'll see how truthful that is. I mean, that's how the Xbox Project Scorpio got leaked, and then Xbox like, yeah, it's true. They didn't specifically talk about that article, but they said, yeah, they kind of announced it. You could tell they just announced it because they know people now.
So
know.
The article said one or the other, not both?
No, they said both.
Okay, so which one, I'm asking you directly, are you more likely, or are you happier to see announced? Animal Crossing or Pikmin?
Pikmin.
Even though Animal Crossing, we haven't had a game since, 2010 or 11?
No. If you don't play the handhelds, you're not going to know. The 3DS had one released recently.
Recently in Animal Crossing? I looked it up. I don't think it was recently.
I have had the 3DS. I think it was like 2 years ago or something.
I put Animal Crossing. It gave me all the Animal Crossing versions, and I did not see a 3DS Animal Crossing release 2 years ago.
Well, that's the last one that I'm aware of, and that's one I own.
Animal Crossing New Leaf, if that's the one you're referring to, came out in 2012.
Oh shit, it's been 5 years.
Almost 5 years, sir. So it's been a while.
Well, yeah.
It's long overdue for
a
new Animal Crossing game, and the Switch would be the perfect opportunity for them to release it.
Yeah, I mean, I like Animal Crossing, and
I did too.
Yeah, so I'll be excited for that. I just more excited for Pikmin. I actually like Pikmin more.
Oh, I'm a big Pikmin fan. So if both of them are being announced, that's great.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about later about the games we're currently playing. Funny enough, I am playing the Wii U Pikmin 3.
Yeah. Well, that's a big rumor that I read, that since Nintendo, the sales of the Wii U was terrible, or
right.
basically shit, and they released the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition. A big rumor is that Pikmin 3 should be coming out on the Switch. That's the actual rumor.
Well, I'm hoping it's part 4, but you're right. I did hear people but I think this is more like people are just guessing this.
Yeah,
that they're gonna release more Wii U games on the Switch because not nobody, only a few people, as in like 9 to 12 million, was it? People got and played some of those games.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's not like Splatoon 2 is coming out. They're not re-releasing Splatoon 1.
No, yeah, you're right. They're not. It was a big hit on the Wii U.
Right.
But I would assume it would make sense for them to release some of their games that didn't do well. Even though Pikmin 3 it's a good game, it's not a system seller like freaking Zelda or Mario or anything like that. So me personally, I think it would make sense for them just to re-release Pikmin 3 on the Switch.
I don't remember when it came out, but I bought it like last year on Black Friday. Because at some point I stopped buying games for the Wii U.
July 2013.
Okay, it's been a while. It was on Black Friday, so I'm sure it was like 5.
So it was early in the life of the Wii U.
I missed out, and I like Pikmin. So, but the thing is, after release, it was like pretty bare, and I kind of fell out of Wii U and started playing more with PS3 and then PS4 and PC. I played a lot of PC too. But funny enough, I've been playing Wii U again lately. just because I had 2 games in my backlog. So we just talked about basically that wraps up our E3 discussion. So how about we talk about the ARMS test punch? How was your experience with that?
I wasn't too excited about ARMS when I saw it announced at their conference a couple months ago when they had that direct, whatever the fuck they call it.
It's on direct.
There you go. Thank you. So I was like, okay, it seems interesting. It's not something I would shell out $60 for it. But after playing the global playtest, not this weekend, but it was Memorial Day weekend. I thought it was fucking great, man. It was fun. It sold me. I'm definitely gonna try to fork out the $60 for it when it launches. It was easy to play. It wasn't overly difficult. It was fun. I mean, it's just a weird fighting game. You would say it's just you can move around. You can strafe to the left or dash to the right. Jump and your arm extends like, what is it, 10 yards or so or more to just strike your opponent. So
yeah, I got it. First, I got excited about the game and when they had the Nintendo Direct and they went into more details about it, because they did announce it. That's when they announced the Switch, they mentioned it, but I was like, okay, that looks kind of cool. But then I saw the Direct when they talked a lot more about it, and that's when I got more excited about it. And playing the test punch, now I'm like, wow, this is gonna be a really good game.
So what did you like about the game? How did it play for you?
Yeah, it's another fighting game, but it's unique as in the way it's not like there's combos. No,
Right.
You're getting specific gloves. You could change the configuration for each glove. There's a strategy involved, and the way you punch and getting special traits on your gloves and each of the different fighters. This actually kind of reminds me of Overwatch. Why it doesn't remind me of Overwatch? All the characters are spent good amount of time on the characters. They're colorful, animated,
personality,
and they have their own little powers going on.
Right.
Special traits. So they actually remind me a lot of Overwatch, and Overwatch obviously is a big hit.
Yes.
So I don't know if it'll be at that caliber because it's just on the Switch, versus Overwatch is on everything but the Switch. I think this test punch really convinced a lot of people to buy it, and I had a lot of fun playing online. My favorite character to use was Min Min. She has like the noodle hair. What about you?
My favorite character was the mummy, that mummy-looking character.
Yeah, he's one of the heavy hitters.
Yeah, I posted it on a screenshot of it on our Twitter.
Master Mummy. There was this other girl I kind of liked. It wasn't that people liked her a lot. Supposedly she had the best win record. It was that girl in a mech. She's another heavy fighter.
I don't recall.
Yeah, she's just in a mech. She was actually had the most wins apparently.
It was a fun game. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll say there's also a lot of different modes involved. The modes I saw were volleyball.
The volleyball one. That's the only one I was able to participate in.
Yeah,
it was fun.
It was a little confusing at first. They don't tell you the controls or the specifications for that.
Yeah, they don't.
But there's things like if you do a throw at the ball,
the
ball will light up, and then when you hit it again, it spikes.
It
goes faster.
Thanks for the tip.
Right, and it's not like the fighting game when you can punch.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a little bit more careful when you punch. You can punch it over the net, but it has to be kind of close. And obviously the ball lands on the floor, it explodes, and the other team gets a score out of it. So if you play with a partner, you have to. There's no video, not video. Sorry, voice chat for this. I don't know if when the game comes out there will be voice chat. I know Splatoon 2 will.
Well, the voice chat isn't that going to come out with the online service?
Right, and I think that's not till Splatoon 2.
Huh.
They give more details about that. $20 a year.
Yeah, it's $20 and it won't come out till early 2018. So that means
fully. It's gonna be out. It does 17. It'll be free
until 2018. Got it. And it's gonna give you like free games if you subscribe.
Yeah, for a year. It doesn't have to be a year, but whatever length you have.
You could do monthly for $4 or $5 a month, And then the yearly service is $19.99.
Right, you get to play some NES games that will have some online capabilities.
Super
So
Mario
you can,
Brothers 3 was announced as one of them, right?
yeah, and Balloon Fight. And anyways, and the other modes for Arms was like there was this mode to fight like a boss or something, and then that was this weekend, and then or last weekend, and the other one was like a target punching thing. You and your you and this you're on one side, the person's on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of targets come up in the middle. You have to punch him. Whoever gets the most points wins.
Were
Times.
you one of the targets?
No.
Damn it.
You can punch the other person though,
Oh, fun.
but it's kind of a waste of time when all the targets are coming up. You want to hit those instead.
Interesting.
So that was Arms for me. And you have anything else to say about Arms?
No, it was a good game. It was fun, the playtest. And hopefully they can continue with that momentum. And then I think they have a hit on their hands. No fuck
Cool.
ups.
So how about we talk about the games we're currently playing?
How about before that? What are some games or some things that have not been announced yet for E3, staying on E3, that you would like to see announced on E3? If you need to take a minute, you can take a minute. I'm going to start off by saying hopefully they announced Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think they announced it last year or 2 years ago. We saw a big announcement. Yeah, it's coming for the PlayStation 4. So we're 2 years later and haven't had any major news from Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I would like Square Enix to announce that at E3 this year. Maybe it'll be a surprise. Maybe they'll say, "Hey, it's done. You know, we're gonna release it this year or early next year." I would even wait. That would be okay with me, but they have to announce it.
Well, I lost excitement over it because they were split into smaller parts.
Episodes, yeah, episodic.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'll just wait for everything to get released then, and then buy it as it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy one-on-one. I have other games to play, so I'm not that excited about it. I do like Final Fantasy. It was actually one of my early RPGs that I played. It's just I do not like the whole episodic thing. I'm not a fan of that. Obviously, they're trying to squeeze as much money out of it they can.
So, if Nintendo announces a Zelda sequel and it's episodic, you would say fuck you, Nintendo?
So it's not doing episodic stuff.
Not yet. You can consider DLC episodic content, and I'm sure you're going to be getting the DLC for Breath of the Wild.
I haven't paid for it yet. Supposedly, actually, they would give more announcements about it.
Yeah, the first one comes out this summer, or possibly the rumor is July, and then the other one will be around October or November, sometime in the fall, for Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that was announced. It was going to be summer and fall, winterish.
Another game that I would like to see announced that came out almost 2.5 years ago is the sequel to Dying Light. Dying Light 2 was announced being worked last year. So I would like to see something about it, a trailer or something. So, even if it's not gameplay, but that was a very good zombie game from the creators of Dead Island, and hopefully they'll announce it this year at E3 and have a release date announced as well. Maybe some cool, interesting zombie multiplayer. But for me, that's what I would like to see announced at E3. Do you have any announcements that you would like to see at E3 when you go there, since you're going?
Honestly, I haven't really thought too much about it, and I know what to expect, and hopefully some surprises. And I don't know if Nintendo announced, let's say Nintendo announced a new thinking. Oh yeah, Metroid. That's what I would love to see. Actually, I'll go ahead and say that new Metroid.
Oh, there you go. So a new Metroid, like a Metroid Prime sequel, or a completely new Metroid from the ground up. Not a sequel.
Yeah, it could be like that. I don't want it. Because supposedly, here's the thing. I didn't bring this up. Retro Studios hasn't worked on anything, or has publicly said anything they're working on since Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Right.
So people are expecting they're working on a Metroid, and we'll find out. At E3, hopefully, and I'm hoping that's what it is. Metroid.
I wanted to announce that Sony announced last week that the PlayStation 3 is no longer in production. So after 11 years, they closed the doors to PlayStation 3 production in Japan. And, well, the rest of the world. 11 years, it's a long time, but the PlayStation 2 was even longer. That was in production for almost 13 years, which is unheard of. But that's what makes the PlayStation 2 the highest selling video game console in history. According to Wikipedia and a couple other sources, it sold over 156 million systems for the PS2. PS3 only did around 87, 88 million, just so you can get an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need a PS3, if you find it out in the market, pick it up because there's no more in production. Adios, PlayStation 3. Rest in peace. All right, what's next?
Yeah, so the games we're currently playing on. What about you? You start.
I am currently playing. So, in episode 19, we had a guest, Magic Man 187. He's a YouTube streamer. So he gave me a closed beta code for Dreadnought on the PlayStation 4. I believe it's also on the PC, but I'm not sure about that. You might have to Google it. So he gave me a closed beta code, and I've been playing that. Played it most of this weekend. It's a space strategy game. You're basically in control of these big dreadnought-looking capital ships. So it's basically like if you're playing a military game with aircraft carriers, but these are in space. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's not a great. It's not a game for everybody. It's if you like, those military style games. There's a couple of them on the PC and PS4 and Xbox One, but this one's in space instead of on the ocean, like aircraft carriers. Some of the ships move quickly. Obviously, depending on the armor and the size. Some of them have more armor. Some of them have, more weapon strength. It's a good game. If it's sold at a reasonable price, like I would definitely pick it up for like $30. But I would not pay no extravagant like $60 for it. I don't think it's worth that because it's not a game that's like pushing the graphical power of the PlayStation 4. It's like maybe like first generation PlayStation 4 type of graphics, so it's not heavy on the graphics, but it's fun. I mostly played the team deathmatch. There was no mic support, which I hope, because it's a beta that's only on the beta, but the actual game hopefully has mic support. That way you can coordinate it with your teams. But I was in a team that I won 5 straight rounds with this team. Like we were in sync with everything. 2 guys were with the ships that heal you, they repair you. So it's pretty much class based. One is a tank, one is the healer but repair. They repair you. So if you like that type of stuff, I recommend that. You want to give me what you're playing now?
Sure. So I actually was playing Bayonetta 2. I already beat it. It's not that long of a game. It's on the Wii U.
On the Wii U, okay.
It was a nice change from The Last Guardian because it was completely different. Because Last Guardian is a story, the slower pace, there's puzzles, there's more emotion about it.
Right.
Bayonetta 2, completely different. It's very flashy, very fast. Story kind of doesn't sort of make sense. It's rushed, and it's funny. I just had fun just messing around with it. I could play online. I did play online like once. You basically just do co-op versus like a wave of monsters, which was okay, but I'm not gonna. If I was a bigger fan of it, maybe, but and maybe I'll go back to one day. But it was okay.
Was it only released on the Wii U?
Yeah. Well, I heard recently they were releasing it for the PC. I didn't look into that because obviously I have the Wii U.
Re-released on some console.
Yeah, I saw some news about it. I think it was PC. Anyway, I liked the game. It was fun. It's quick. I enjoyed it. And then after that, I started playing Pikmin 3 with the Wii U. I'm just about done with it. I'm like at the last area. So actually I might even finish it tonight. And once that's done, my queue is actually going to be cleared out. At least for consoles. I do have the Star Wars Lego game, but I played it.
But you have no more backlog on on the PlayStation 4 or the Switch?
Well, the Switch, there's games I haven't beaten. When I say beaten, I mean like
Finished.
completely finished it, which is
The Binding of Isaac, is it one of them?
yeah, Binding of Isaac and Has Been Heroes, which they're quick games, just they're roguelike. Keep on unlocking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for consoles, that's basically it. I'm probably after E3 will pick up something, or actually I might go back to Steam and have a queue there too. I'm sure I could find something in my queue. I can even go to my retro system and play some retro games. I was playing Yoshi's Story, so maybe I could play that.
Can our listeners play with you on the PlayStation 4 or add you on their friends list?
Maybe I don't even. It's not even worth it. I don't have PSN.
That's
Plus.
true. You don't have PlayStation Plus. Well, they could add
So-
me. I'm Neo Owns. That's NEOOWNZ. If you guys want to add me on the PlayStation 4 so we can play some multiplayer games or just say what's up or how's it going or fuck you. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I might go. I have a few PlayStation 4 games I do want to play. So either PS4 games or I'll go back to Steam. And then, so over the weekend I also watched Wonder Woman. You watched it too, right?
Yes, I did. I did watch Wonder Woman, and before we begin talking about that, so I did a poll last week on our Twitter, Bits for You podcast on Twitter, asking people if they would be seeing the movie at the cinema. So 45% said they would see it at the cinema, 10% said no, 40% said that they were not going to watch it at all. It turns out that a lot of people did see it at the cinema because it did at the box office $103 million, the highest ever for a female superhero and a female director. This was directed by Patty Jenkins.
You say female superhero. It's been like what, Elektra and Catwoman.
Elektra,
I think that's it.
Catwoman, I think was the last female lead type superhero film. 2004 was Catwoman, and that only opened. I think total box office for Catwoman, I think was like 30 million. So that just shows you that it was a big ass bomb. It didn't even open like in the 8 or 9 million. I don't even think it opened with 10 million. And Wonder Woman did 38 million on Friday alone. That's the entire box office gross for Catwoman in one day.
Well, it's a much better movie.
Yeah. So tell me, what were your thoughts on it?
Well, congrats DC for actually making a good movie overall.
Yes.
And I gotta say, this movie reminds me a lot of Marvel movies.
Yep.
Because your character has a villain that's considered weak in the sense they don't really have much screen time.
Right.
Not much explained about them. Now, her villain was easy to explain because a lot of people know the Greek gods.
Yes.
So kind of has a pass on that a little bit. But we didn't really get to feel much about Ares. Like, oh, it's Ares, the god of war. What an asshole.
Yeah.
But you didn't really care. But it wasn't like, whoa. I really have some serious hate for him.
Right. It wasn't a strong villain.
Right. It's just, oh, he's the god of war. And I do know that because I do just watch, read or watch Greek stories.
Mm-hmm.
They had comedy bits in it. They definitely kept it light, even though it was about war. It still had a lot of comedy in it. A lot of people were laughing throughout the movie, and I don't know how else compare this to Marvel. I'm sure there's other things I can't think of the top of my head, but yeah, that's the formula I really think of Marvel, and they did it there. They didn't shy away from that. The other thing that was kind of cool was the costume. They kept it because I remember when they first released the costume, it was like gold brown or something, a very dark color.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad they went away from that. And the story was simple too. It wasn't really hard to follow. I think it progressed nicely. What about you? What do you think of the story and character and all that?
So I was going into this movie not expecting a whole lot. DC has had shit movies the past, I would say, two movies. So it was Batman vs Superman and Suicide Squad were completely bad. Batman vs Superman gets a slight edge with the Ultimate Director's Cut on Blu-ray over Suicide Squad, but they're still bad movies. I don't want to go too much into those movies, but they just have they were overly complicated in their storyline and plot. They try to tell a lot of things, but not explain, not let things unfold progressively. And I think that's why they failed. Besides other things, so with Wonder Woman, it was great seeing an origin story told, that took its time. I would have loved to have seen more of Wonder Woman and the Amazonians in their world, in their city. Themyscira, I think is I might be pronouncing it wrong, but I would have liked to see more of that. But what I saw, it was great. It was fun. It took its time telling that story, showing you from when she was a little girl all the way until her present Wonder Woman age. And I liked Chris Pine's character interacting with Gal Gadot. I think is the pronunciation of her name. She didn't have a lot of acting experience before Wonder Woman. I think she was only in. I remember her seeing in one of the Fast and the Furious movies, and that's about it. She was like before that she was like a Miss Israel or some model or something. So
just on her acting,
she did pretty. She did pretty
well
good.
here.
She wasn't like, obviously. I'm sure that she's gonna progress more as she's more into the DC extended universe, and she gets more roles. But she did pretty good as Wonder Woman. I was impressed with her acting, for what it was.
I think they actually did it, like the stuff she had to do. I think she was comfortable with in that terms of acting that way.
Right.
I think they didn't try to expose her or anything. Right?
No, she carried the movie. I think that they didn't give her anything she couldn't do. She didn't, like you said, she didn't feel comfortable doing everything that I saw from her. Like, she probably worked hard at it and she felt comfortable and it was easy for her to do, which was fine. I like the supporting cast. I liked Connie Nielsen as her mother, Robin Wright as her aunt. She trained her. I'm trying not to spoil too much for those people that haven't seen it. Robin Wright was Jenny in Forrest Gump and House of Cards.
Yeah, her acting. Just one other thing, like an example what we're talking about. Let's say there was a tragic scene in the movie. If she were to act like something tragically happened, I think she'll suck at it.
Yes. So I'm glad that there was a moment where something that she had to express some tragedy, and I was glad that the camera didn't focus too much on her or didn't like say, okay, here, show us more emotion. I'm not saying that she was probably not going to do well in it, but seeing as how she doesn't have much acting experience, I'm glad that they didn't go that route. Everything she did was just flowed well. Her chemistry with Chris Pine was great. I don't. You mentioned humor. Yeah, it did have some humor. I don't think it had too much humor. Like they say, Guardians of the Galaxy would be considered more like a comedy. This just had light humor here and there because it was, she's a fish out of water. She comes from a world that she's never, that's different from World War One. This movie takes place during World War One, which I like that it wasn't modern take. I like that we're focusing on World War One. A time that is not like the current superhero movies that we're seeing now for the past 10 years. So most of the humor came from her not knowing what this is, or knowing what this, like when she was trying out an outfit, there was humor in that, but it wasn't like, like trying to go for a comedy, like a comedy film. It was just, fish out of water humor. The chemistry with Chris Pine and her were great. Chris Pine he's a pro at these big blockbuster movies because he comes from the Star Trek movies. So I like that. I like this character. I like that the movie also focused on him a lot and not only Wonder Woman. So I like that is split between those two people in the movie. I didn't have a problem on just saying, Chris Pine, I want to see more Wonder Woman, or I want to see more Chris Pine. No, I think it was evenly balanced between both of those main characters in the movie. As you mentioned, the villain was weak. Wasn't a strong villain, typical like Marvel has done. but it wasn't. It was what it was. I can't really say much without spoiling, but yeah, the villain was okay. It was Ares
In your fish out of water comments,
right.
that reminded me a lot of Thor.
Yes, yeah, there you go. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it was kind of like Thor. Like it wasn't like Thor wasn't a comedy, but he had the fish out of water, out of time, humor. So
Honestly, you can compare her a lot to Thor. They
yes,
both, gods
right.
kind of thing going on.
One is Viking,
their dad is
Norse mythology. One is Greek. Yeah, they're both very similar in that aspect.
lightning is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that's one thing that's kind of weird. The lightning things. I guess that's kind of spoilerish. If we want to go into that.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So go ahead. You can continue.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So Thursday when they were fighting with the lightning, I actually when I went to go watch it, one of my friends was confused. He had to talk to me afterwards. He thought Ares was actually Zeus.
Really?
At first, I mean, eventually he kind of figured it out, but he wasn't sure. Because of the whole lightning thing going on, he was like, "Is that Zeus? Did Zeus turn bad or something?" I was also confused about Ares using lightning.
I wasn't confused at all.
No, but he was right. Even when it was happening, I'm like, why are they using lightning? Are they trying to be like Dragon Ball Z here or something? I don't get it.
Maybe.
Like,
there was a mention, from what I recall, that Zeus I think he was gone or dead. I don't remember. For part of me thinks that Zeus died or had no more powers. So I don't know. I don't know if Ares has the powers of Zeus, or that's just his power that he could use lightning as well as his father. Wasn't Zeus his father?
Yeah, they're brother.
But according to other Greek mythologies that I've listened to and read, Zeus and Ares I think they're brothers. But in this movie they just made them father and son. They just changed it up a bit, which is fine. I had no issues with that. But going back to the movie, the action scenes were well done. It had a little bit of the Zack Snyder slow motion thing from like 300, which wasn't bad. It wasn't overly used. The moment where she has her big battle scene halfway through the movie was well done. I had goosebumps. I mean, the shot, the music was swelling up. When you finally see her in Wonder Woman costume, it was just fucking badass. And that's they did it right. DC. Kudos to them. Kudos for hiring the Patty Jenkins, who had no big budget experience whatsoever. Her past experience was the Oscar-winning or Oscar-nominated movie Monster, which came out in 2004 or 2003 with Charlize Theron, and she had mostly done just a bunch of TV episodes or TV shows, directing an episode here and there. And kudos to them to allowing a female, to take full charge in a superhero movie. Not only a superhero movie, but a movie with a woman, which Hollywood has failed for many, many years with female lead superhero movies. Elektra, Catwoman, Supergirl. Going back to Supergirl in the 80s. I think it was 86 or 87. I mean, that was just a full-on disaster. They hadn't had any successes, and they finally did it. They finally took their time with a simple story, and it worked. Wonder Woman was great. I enjoyed it a lot. The only downside to me was just the weak villain, and that's all that I can think of. I mean, I would have to watch it more to get more to figure out what other flaws. But from just watching it once, it was a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
Yeah, I agree. I recommend it as well. And I hope DC keeps up the streak and keeps on.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do with because Justice League comes out in November, so there's not a lot of time for them to do anything with that. I know they're gonna do reshoots with Joss Whedon because Zack Snyder had that family tragedy. I think was his daughter committed suicide a month ago or something like that. Yeah. So I don't know how much they can go back. They can't really go back and reshoot the whole fucking movie, because it's pretty much done. They're just gonna do reshoots, add a couple scenes here and there, which reshoots are normal. I mean, Wonder Woman had some reshoots, and it worked. The movie was great. So hopefully, Joss Whedon is able to do something with at least in the editing process of Justice League Part 1 when it comes out this November. We'll just have to wait and see. But I know he's on board with Batgirl, the Batgirl movie, and he's very well versed in the female characters. He's worked on Buffy. I think there was another show called Dollhouse on TV, Firefly, the Avengers movie, and the Avengers sequel. So hopefully we get to see a Black Widow movie now that Wonder Woman was a success.
I'm not interested in seeing a Black Widow movie, to be honest.
Come on, sir. You don't want to see Scarlett Johansson kicking ass?
She already has a bunch of movies like that. And none of them have been like huge hits.
Actually, Lucy was a huge hit. It made $140 million worldwide in America alone, on a $40 million budget. So that was the hit. The only one that failed for her recently was the Ghost in the Shell.
Yes, which we reviewed in the previous episode.
Yeah, that was.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I just don't feel like she has the charisma. Like she's just kind of the silent type to me, and that's all she does. Maybe she can be different. I just don't ever see it.
You haven't seen her comedies. She's done a few little romantic comedies or comedies. I think she has a comedy coming out this month called Rough Night, or I forgot the name of the movie. It's a bunch
I know
of,
you're talking about like the Kill Stripper or something.
Yeah, some shit like that. But whatever. Hopefully this paves the way for more superhero female lead characters.
I mean, it's just gonna happen.
Is it Captain Marvel the next Marvel's next?
Yeah, but it's just in general. There's not a lot. To be honest, Wonder Woman probably is the biggest.
It's the biggest one,
female,
right?
In terms of any comic book,
she has over 60, close to 70 years of history.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be sexist. I just don't know many females actually even read comic books. So when they have all these heroes, they don't.
Well, there's some
males.
I'm sure they'll let us know on Twitter that they read comics.
I'm sure it's grown. It's just if you're gonna base it off previous older heroes, there's not that many that are. A lot of the big ones are all males. So, that's just the way it is. I'm sure. Like right now, in terms of comic books, Spider-Gwen is huge. Mm-hmm. Are they gonna make a movie on her? I don't think so. I don't know why Sony hasn't even capitalized on that. She's a sleeper hit if they ever make her.
There's a possibility that they might do something like that.
I bet you they don't even know much about it. I can tell you in the con world and just in comic book world, she's a big hit. People love her design. I don't know how many people actually read the comics. I was reading it at first. I kind of dropped out after the Secret Wars, but I got some of those issues after that. I'm telling you, man, she's really popular. I haven't seen. I see her more around than Spider-Man in terms of comic book Spider-Man, like Amazing Spider-Man right now. Like a lot of people are talking more about Spider-Gwen, and they're not doing it on her. They're just doing like a Venom movie, whatever. Silk is another one, but she's not as popular, as Spider-Gwen. And I think that's someone that you should go for.
Well, you haven't convinced me, but maybe other listeners were convinced.
I'll tweet a picture of her. Just her costume design is really neat.
Yeah, but you can't. All you mentioned recently is just costume mostly. You can't make a movie just based because the design is cool.
Well, at least the first issues before Secret Wars, she's in an alternate universe where Peter Parker actually tried to kill her, and she killed Peter Parker. Peter Parker was a villain, and Daredevil, Matt Murdock, he's not Daredevil in there. He's the Kingpin's right-hand man. He's his lawyer. And what else? The Punisher is a cop. One of our first villains was, was like the Vulture. It's just a spin on the normal universe. Like I said, Matt Murdock is like, I know Sony can't use Matt Murdock unless Marvel lets them, but or Kingpin.
Yeah,
for that matter.
I know what you're saying, but a lot of these things are just these alternate universes that work in comic books, and it could work in a movie. But will the studio take a big risk? I mean, we'll just have to wait.
I don't feel
see.
like they would, but I just saying. It's just I know it's kind of popular. I know imagery, it's popular. Story-wise, it's based off the Spider-Man stuff, and that's
right
stuff that works.
I mean, we have to wait to see what happens in Phase 4. When Phase 3 ends with Avengers Infinity Wars Part 2 comes out.
I don't think they're doing it anytime soon at all. I just feel like this is something you could capitalize on, but I know they're not going to.
Right.
They're going to just go with what's safe. Like Wonder Woman is actually safe, even though for them it's still considered risky.
It's safe, but it has, like I mentioned, like almost 70 years or more of history.
Right. I'm just saying they're playing it safe, and even playing it safe, they see some risk. And so I really don't see Spider-Gwen happening anytime soon. If they do like some kind of animated film, they didn't think too much about.
The most I think I'll see of her is probably in the Spider-Man video game or some shit like that. Who knows? Maybe like a unlockable character. Or
Right.
That's
That's all I really see her as. But I'm telling you, if I owned the studio, I'd be like, I want to make a movie on her. It would be like Deadpool, like small budget, and I bet you will make a bunch of money.
It will definitely have to be like Deadpool type of budget, definitely.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
Obviously, we saw it work.
Yeah, well, it worked because they had good writers
And then good actor.
and an actor. That's right. Correcto.
Yeah.
So Mario Kart. Tell me something about this Mario Kart 8 tournament.
Yeah, we are going to post the ID for the tournament. It's going to be called Bits for You Tournament.
We're gonna post a
the
tournament
week.
and we can mention the ID code here. So 3453-1073-1819. We're gonna tweet that code, and that way you guys can participate with us in the Mario Kart 8 tournament, Bits for You tournament.
And yeah, me and Robert will take part of the tournament. It's only about 6 races. So those 6 races, your score will be up in the standings. And if you get top 3, we'll give you a shout out on Twitter and on our podcast.
Yes, correct. Just for fun for now. In the future, we'll think of other ways to keep things, fun and interesting. But we're just doing this little fun tournament just to interact with our fans.
Yeah, because we had a bunch of fun playing Mario Kart 8 online.
Yeah.
Your brother was also involved.
Yeah, we want to share that with you guys, so and gals.
I mean, I was like first all the time.
No, you weren't. You sucked. I got first a few times, and you cheated too with that fucking blue shell. Goddamn, fucking Nintendo and that fucking blue shell. You know, there's that blue shell is just a hashtag. Fuck blue shell. I'm gonna hashtag. I'm gonna hashtag that shit on Twitter. Fucking blue shell.
You just need the horn, and it destroys it.
No, fuck the blue shell. Just fuck it. It's the worst item in that fucking game.
And I was first like 95% of the time.
I dare anyone to use that fucking blue shell on me. I dare them. All right, sir. So you're looking forward to E3?
Yep. Just one thing, one last thing I wanted to mention. This is wrestling news.
Oh yes, talk to me about the wrestler.
Well, not the movie, but
No, the wrestling. My favorite thing not to watch.
yeah, just a quick recap what's been happening, and then some thoughts on AJ Styles.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I have some thoughts on him. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, we had the Battle of the Super Juniors tournament in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm subscribed to New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the coach loves New Japan Pro Wrestling. He actually considers New Japan Pro Wrestling the best wrestling company right now, and it's hard to disagree with him. In ring wise, they are the best. There is no, in my mind, there is no, or my opinion, there's no one better.
No one better than New Japan Pro Wrestling?
In the ring.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I know, ring-wise.
So, the tournament finals was Kushida versus Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay won last year, and he did well again in the tournament. Just in case nobody really knows, or give you some history here. Not history, but understanding of the tournament. The tournament is round robin, and there's 2 blocks. So the best. So if you get a win, that's 3 points.
Right.
Loss is 0 points, and tie I think is just 1 point. And so the two. So if you have the best score in block A, you'll face the person who has the best score in block B. That was the finals, which is Will Ospreay and Kushida. So block A has a certain set of wrestlers, and block B has their own set of wrestlers. And it lasted a few weeks, and to build up for this moment. And it was a spectacular match. I would have said it was the best match of the year if it wasn't for Okada versus Kenny Omega, which is also New Japan, which happened at Wrestle Kingdom in January. So Kushida won this. It was brutal. It was fast paced, and it was long. We're talking about like a 30-minute fast paced, stiff, brutal match, spectacular match. Me and the coach, we were watching, and he was like, "This is the best cruiserweight or junior heavyweight we've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. And speaking of New Japan, this month, actually this weekend, there's going to be another New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view, which is going to have the rematch between Okada and Kenny Omega, which was the match of the year, and had a lot of headway because it had 6-star rating from Dave Meltzer. New Japan actually is offering the pay-per-view for free. I'm subscribed, so whatever, but it's a stacked card.
For free?
Yeah.
That's my kind of word.
Yeah, and the only weird thing about it is it's going to be live, but live in Japan. So for us, that's like 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh, shit.
Well, it doesn't matter. You can just go back and I like the Super Junior weight.
So
Super
where the heck can I watch this?
New Japan World. Just Google that, and you can watch it.
Their website?
It does support. Yeah, New Japan World.
Oh.
In the top right, you'll see an option to translate it to English.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, just look for the. I think it's man. I don't know why I forgot the name of the pay-per-view. I think it's Domino or Dom. Something with a D.
The New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view. When is the pay-per-view? What day?
It's I think technically Sunday, but like I said, like at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's Dominion. Sorry, I just found it.
G1 special. That's not it, right?
That's in July.
Oh, you found it.
No,
Dominion?
I found it's June 11, which I knew was the Sunday. It's Dominion, and that's gonna be a stacked card, and like I said, it's gonna be free, so we might as well watch it. I think it's the whole pay per view is free. I don't know if it's gonna have the one match. Sometimes they just do one matches. Even if you go to New Japan's World's website, they do offer free matches anyway. So I would recommend just watching some of their stuff. It's free. Just go to their website. Their website supports Chromecast, so I would do that.
So I can watch it on my TV then.
Yeah.
Good. I don't like watching shit on my tablet.
Yeah. So yeah, I recommend watching that. We also have Naito versus Tanahashi, another big match. We have
Are you gonna
Cody Rhodes.
Are you gonna be You say you're gonna watch this on Sunday?
Yeah.
Are you gonna tweet while you're watching?
Yeah.
It? Good.
Yeah, obviously people can watch it whenever they want to because I don't know who's gonna stay up and watch it live. I'm not watching it live.
Oh, okay. But just make sure you announce it so that I can follow you while you live tweet it.
Yeah, we'll sync up and maybe watch it at the same time.
Yeah, we can. Why not?
Yeah, and I just went to New Japan World's website. They have the last 5 years of Dominion matches are free. So, like I said, a bunch of free stuff there anyways. Like I know they have an AJ Styles match for free. I think it's versus Nakamura, which they're both in WWE right now. So that's the next thing I wanted to get to was Money in the Bank, which is the next SmackDown pay-per-view. So the concept of Money in the Bank is there's a ladder. There's ladders over the ring. Hung in the middle of the ring is a contract. It's a suitcase. The suitcase contains a contract for you have a match against the heavyweight any champion, which I think is usually just the heavyweight champion. It might just be the heavyweight champion, and you can cash in on him on any time. Sometimes people cash in as soon as the guys already had a match or during the match. So like Seth Rollins example at WrestleMania 31, I think it was. He cashed it in on Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match.
Right.
During the match, he just came in and cashed it in, and boom, he was involved in the match. So it can happen anytime. So for the match, I'm actually I'm pulling for Baron Corbin to win. I kind of don't think he's going to win. I would like him to win, but besides him, I really do think AJ Styles. AJ Styles has to stay in the top. I know he's feuding with Kevin Owens right now for the U.S. title, but he just had the heavyweight title. I think he should just go back to that. So I would think giving him the suitcase and knowing he'll eventually get it again is great business. There's a lot of fans for AJ Styles. He's honestly the best wrestler in WWE right now. So, do you have any thoughts on AJ Styles?
I think he's fucking badass and very sexy. But I don't like guys. But if I did, he's fucking sexy and badass.
Yeah, his hair. I swear, every time I'm with my fiance, or actually the coach's fiance sometimes watches this. Every time he's on screen, they're always complimenting his hair.
He has excellent hair.
Yeah. So we'll see if Kenny. Sorry, I almost said Kenny Omega. If AJ Styles wins this, and I'm pulling for him. Either him or Baron Corbin, but more AJ Styles, to be honest.
Mm.
I'm kind of back and forth with them, but we'll see.
I'm on Team AJ Styles.
And I usually live tweets at the pay-per-views.
Yes.
So you can tweet back at us at Bits for You Podcast. The 4 is the number 4.
Don't worry, sir. We don't have to say it so many times. It's gonna be on the Twitter, on the description of the episode.
Bits for You Podcast.
One last thing. I wanted to mention the schedule for the E3 press conference, since we talked a bit about that earlier. So the on Saturday, June 10th, Electronic Arts press conference starts at 12 p.m. Pacific time. That's 3 p.m. East Coast time. Sunday, June 11th, we got Microsoft's press conference at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Bethesda is at 9 p.m. Pacific. Devolver Digital is at 10 p.m. Pacific. Then Monday, June 12th, we got the PC Gaming Show at 10 a.m. Pacific. Ubisoft is at 1 p.m. Pacific. And Sony's press conference is 5 p.m. Pacific. They have it here listed at 6 p.m., so maybe it might start at 6 p.m., but even though Sony's official website says 5 p.m., so I would go with Sony's official time of 5 p.m. Monday, June 12th. Then the last one is the Nintendo press conference Tuesday morning, June 13th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's Nintendo's press conference. And that's it. That's the last press conference schedule I have here for you listeners. Any last words?
Bits for You Podcast.
You son of a bitch. All right. Always contact us at bitsforyoupodcast@gmail.com. Any questions, anything you guys want us to mention. If you want Javier to take pictures or give him some tips on E3, send it to us at bitsforyoupodcast@gmail or to our Twitter. And Javier will try his best to interact with you while he's at E3. I'm sure he'll tweet about it, tweet what he's doing, where he's going, and possibly tweet some pictures as well while he's there.
Yeah, definitely will. And you'll catch that at Bits number 4.
Jesus, how many times, dude?
Bits for You Podcast.
One thing forgot to mention is that it's a very underrated series, but it was a good series, was the Getaway series. Having conversed with one of our Twitter followers, I think it's Rad Mike 137. So it's at Rad Mike 137. He and I were having a conversation about the Getaway. So the Getaway was kind of a series that came out on the PS2 era. 2002 was the first one that came out in Europe. It came out in North America January 2003. It was a fun little series, like a Grand Theft Auto-esque type series, third person, kind of like the inspired by British gangster films, less Get Carter and Snatch. So they made a sequel for that. I think it came out in 2004, about a year later, or 2005. The sequel I don't remember too much. I don't know if it was a hit, but the first one I had a lot of fun playing it. So I think that they should make a sequel, or maybe not even a sequel. Let's do like a reboot. There was talks about a Getaway 3 in 2008 or 2009 for the PS3, but that never happened. They canceled it. I don't know why they canceled it. There was just only thing I found online was that they were going to work on it, but they decided not to. So I think it would be a good series. They should release it. It was fun from what I remember. You can find videos on YouTube, I'm sure. It's The Getaway. The sequel is Getaway Black Monday. It was the second game. It was released in 2004. So it was a good conversation I had with Rad Mike 137. He's from the UK. So I think he'll occasionally post videos on his YouTube. You can find him on Twitter and follow him. All right, so that was our E3 episode. A lot of good things coming out at E3 this year. Nintendo is gonna step it up, and some prizes from Microsoft and their Scorpio system. So remember just to share this with your friends and family that are into video games or play any video games, even if it's just games on their freaking phones. Maybe they'll, you know, there's a lot of mobile games that they show at E3. Javier's going to be there, so he's going to be taking pictures. He's going to be answering questions live on the floor while he's exploring the big conference or convention center. I think it's in LA. So you could always tweet him. He'll try to, go to a section if he can. If you tell him, hey, can you take a picture of this or that? And there's going to be people, wearing a lot of costumes from video games, movies, and comic books. So he'll try to take pictures of that as well. So it's going to be fun. So starting when is it? June 13th, he'll be there, the 14th and the 15th as well. Just shoot us email, bitsforyoupodcast@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @bitsforyoupodcast. And the same thing on Facebook. If you don't have a Twitter, we have a Facebook. I'm usually more active on the Facebook, and Javier is usually the one that's on Twitter. So I will always link, or any questions you have on Facebook, I'll send it directly to Javier and he'll reply. And I'll send the reply over to you on Facebook. All right, that's it.